Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you my thoughts on Luton appointing Marc Tracy. Marc Tracy is a chief scout and loan manager at Lincoln. He's been doing that role for the last 7 years at the football club. And over the last couple of days, it has been reported he could be coming in at Luton. Before I give you my overall thoughts on Marc Tracy, can we smash the like button on today's video? Also, let me know down in the video comments your thoughts about Marc Tracy coming to the football club. And also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Also, before I give you my overall thoughts, as he's been at Lincoln for the last 7 years, why don't we actually find out from a Lincoln fan some of the amazing work Marc Tracy has done at the football club? Here's Jake and his thoughts on Marc Tracy potentially coming to Luton.
Hey guys, Jake here from the Here for the Lincoln podcast, here to talk to you about my thoughts about Marc Tracy, who is set to be named the new head of recruitment at Luton Town. He is leaving my club, Lincoln City, to join the Hatters. My initial thoughts are one of disappointment. Marc Tracy, having spoken to people about him high at the club, such as our chief exec and our director of football, he's a great bloke, first and foremost. He gets pretty much every signing spot on. Someone who is relentless in their work. He travels the country, often without a lot of pay in terms of Lincoln City. And here we are talking about one of the main reasons as to why Lincoln have been one of the best recruiters in the EFL over the last sort of 5 or 6 years, while Marc has been in post as chief scout. Look, I'm gutted. He was a big part of why Lincoln are one of the best, well-run clubs within the EFL. He'll be sorely missed, but it just shows you what we're competing against. Obviously, he has been at Luton before as a head of administration, so it's good for him to be coming back to a club he is familiar with, I would suppose, and probably a club that he's probably going to have a bit more budget to be able to spend, rather than looking in the free agent loan market like he has done during his time in LN5. You've asked me who his best signing was. Well, I can't name you one. There's genuinely a list of 4 or 5 that I could talk to you about. I think the best ones are probably loan signings. You're talking Brennan Johnson, who scored the goal in the Europa League final last week for Tottenham Hotspur. He came in on loan from Nottingham Forest in 2020. An outstanding signing, also backed up by another signing the same season in Morgan Rogers, who's now scoring hat-tricks in the Champions League for Aston Villa and is apparently worth nearly £90 million or is quoted to be. So he's very good at that side of the job, very good at speaking to bigger clubs, very good at persuading players to come in and sign in for Lincoln as well. So I'm absolutely gutted about this, but for Luton, you've got one of the very best in the business and someone who will level up your recruitment team. So enjoy. I hope the deal falls through selfishly, but I'm guessing by the fact this video is coming out, that will mean it's pretty much confirmed. But yeah, all the best for the season, and looking forward to seeing Luton at Central Bank very, very soon. Take care.
I want to say a massive shout out and thank you to Jake for giving us some insight about Marc Tracy. If you guys want to know more about Lincoln, Jake is part of a podcast called Here for the Lincoln, and as we are playing Lincoln in this upcoming League One campaign, go and check out Jake and also the podcast to get up to date with anything Lincoln related. I'll leave their links in the description below. So from listening to Jake there, it comes across that Marc Tracy has got a good eye for younger talent. Now, if you actually look at his background in football, Marc Tracy started off as a youth coach at Rushden and Diamond. He was an academy staff member at Colchester. He was part of the youth at Southend, Cambridge and Luton. He was head of administration at Luton. He then went back to Cambridge to be a scout, a youth scout in fact, and then he progressed up the ranks at Cambridge to be a first team scout. And then for the last 7 years, he's been at Lincoln, and the last year or so, he's also been loan player manager. So for 7 long years, he's been a chief scout for Lincoln, and over the last 7 years at Lincoln, they've had some great players. As Jake mentioned, they've had Brendan Johnson, they've had Rogers, just 2 players that have gone on to amazing things in football currently right now. So there is a good indication that this might actually work out for Luton, especially if Marc Tracy, with a youth background, has got a good eye for youth talent. We can hire some we can sign some younger players to the football club that have some potential. We develop them, we progress their careers, and then we get some resale value. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a different way of going about things. It's a complete different transfer model compared to some other clubs on how they like to work. But Luton, we're never going to be the biggest spenders in a league. We're never going to be that type of club. We might be in this upcoming League One season, but in the Championship and in the Premier League, we are never going to be the biggest spenders. So we have to do our business different, and maybe signing younger players with a bit of potential to go on to bigger and better things might be the way we like to go. Also, from doing some research about Marc Tracy and also listening to Jake, we might be going down the loan market, and the loan market is something that Luton, we don't often go down properly. If you look at it last season in the Premier League, we don't normally get Premier League loans in. It's something we've always avoided if we can, and I understand the reasons for it. We rather, focus on the players we actually have at the club who are going to be here on a permanent basis rather than develop someone else's players. But I do believe there is a time and a place to bring loan players from Premier League clubs to our club. The last time I think we got a loan player from a Premier League club and he done amazing was Dewsbury Hall, and that was years ago. So there is a time and place for it. And if you look at what Dewsbury Hall did for the football club, it was an amazing year. He was player of the year for us, and he's one of the best players I've seen in a Luton shirt. That's how good he was. So as Marc Tracy has got a good eye for talent, we might actually bring a couple of young Premier League loan players to the football club, as, players that have not actually made a first team appearance for their Premier League teams. So it's okay to use Premier League loans just to help us get through a season, or to really, improve the squad. Now, if you didn't know already, we don't actually have a chief scout at Luton. Phil Chappell has left the football club. He used to be our chief scout. He left to go to Charlton to be under Nathan Jones. Of course, those two worked together at Luton and had a very good relationship and was very successful. Our recruitment was quite good with those two at the football club, so I can understand why Phil Chappell has gone to Charlton. But of course, we now need to replace him, and Marc Tracy coming in could be the ideal replacement. Now, the reports do say he's going to be head of recruitment. I don't believe that is true. I believe the current recruitment staff are all remaining the same. So you've got Yusuf, who is first team recruitment manager. You've got MacArthur, who's part of the recruitment team. You've also got Jay as well, who does the analytical side of things, who's been at the football club for years now. So those three are the ones that are part of the current recruitment team. And of course, Matt Bloomfield does also have a say on transfers. So if Marc Tracy does come to the football club, he won't be coming in as head of recruitment. He'll just be coming in as part of the scouting team and just helping us recruit players through the door. With him also being a Luton fan, I also feel like as well, he knows the football club inside out, and also he's going to work even harder to make sure that this move actually works out for both parties. He wants the best for Luton, being a fan, and I've seen a couple of comments online and also in my video comments from people who actually went to school with Marc Tracy, and he does know his stuff about football. I know this appointment might not excite people, and they may be expecting someone better from someone from a bigger club, but look, let's not dismiss the work Marc Tracy has done at Lincoln. As Jake mentioned in the video which we've just heard, Lincoln are one of the lowest spenders in the EFL. The way they run their football club is totally different, so they have to do their transfer business very different. They've got to rely on free transfers, they've got to rely on the loan market, and they've done very well. Over the years, Luton, when we've been successful due to the fact we've signed players from lower league clubs and we've just developed those players. Players have come in on a free transfer and they've ended up being one of our best players rather than us spending money. So I do believe Marc Tracy and the way Luton have been successful kind of align quite nicely. And I feel like this appointment could actually really work and improve the football club going forward. We know the recruitment aspect of the football club over the last couple of windows hasn't been great. I do believe the January window just gone was good. So hopefully the summer it matches that and also is slightly better. So that is the end of the video. I do believe this would be a good appointment if Luton do get this done. I think the way Marc Tracy has worked at Lincoln kind of does align with what Luton have been doing in the past when we have been successful in signing players on a free from lower league clubs and improving them and hopefully go on to bigger and better things. So I do believe this is you know, a really good relationship that could work out in the future and hopefully bring us so many successful seasons. Let me know what you think down in the video comments. Don't forget to also drop a like on today's video. And yes, I'll see you guys in the next one.